My name is Natalia Nastaskin. I joined Primary Wave at the top of February of 21, and my title is Chief Content Officer. And in that role, I get to explore various ways that we can market and promote our song catalog through different media like television, streaming, film, theater, podcasts, gaming, and any number of other things. Well, it was fine until I had to integrate from one company to another, which makes it difficult being from home and being remote. I haven't really met everybody yet, and I am always very interested in all of the people that I work with. So I am hopeful that we can be back together sometime soon so I can get to know my colleagues more than just seeing their faces and their names on the Zoom. Well, I started in the industry as an attorney. I essentially opened my law practice. I knew I wanted to be a music lawyer, and I went on 3 job interviews and got 3 rejections. I opened my own law practice, and I had that practice for 16 years, but the start was in law as an artist representative. I knew I wanted to go into music from a very early age because my family immigrated to the States from the Soviet Union. And the first thing I saw on arrival in the States was my aunt's color television. I'd never seen a color TV before. And on it was this absolutely beautiful person who was dressed in skin tight latex black pants with his shirt unbuttoned down to his belly button, and he had bleach blonde hair with dark roots, and I was just fascinated by him. It was Rod Stewart. It's something that that accompanied me and that I wanted to be a part of. And then eventually when I was in law school, I realized that I can have a career as a professional in music. Well, that's a loaded question. I follow a lot of different women in music because I am friends with so many. I've been in the business for over 20 years. And so by virtue of that, you develop a network, and we look out for each other, and we're there for each other. And for the next generation, now it's on us to make sure that the legacy that we leave behind incorporates other females being a part of the music industry in a very, very big way. And that's something that I thread into my everyday life and make sure that I am thinking about promoting women, recognizing women, advancing women, making sure that women have pay parity, and create as much of an equitable playing field for the women in our business as I possibly can, together with my colleagues that rose up with me. Well, I think we're far from done in terms of advancing our cause as women, right? I think that we really had momentum that picked up around equality and parity when Time's Up and Me Too were sort of the catchphrases of the day, right? But I feel like what happens is you have this tsunami of companies and individuals wanting to do more. And then for whatever reason, that momentum and that tsunami dies down. And I think that we as women can't afford to have it die down. We need to continue to not only tell our stories, but to advance the next generation of women and make sure that we're looking out for who's coming right behind us so that they could look out for the next generation after them. So that to me is still really, really important. We can't rest on what's happened to date, and we need to continue to advance one another as we go forward. Well, if you see my wall behind me, yeah. I have a ton of Guns N' Roses plaques on it and posters. So yeah, I mean, they are hopefully going to play out the stadium tour that they announced back in, was it 2019, before COVID was a thing. And hopefully that'll get rescheduled and we'll all be able to get to see them in 22. I'm going to not refer to it as a trend, which is the question, but for me, the theme of the music industry and other industries, thankfully, over the last year has been social justice and racial equity. And to me, that is something that is incredibly important. And there's still so much work to be done. I feel like we oftentimes knee jerk and we all react and we all scramble to do the right thing, which is great. But that momentum has to continue onward and making sure that we make our communities better every day. If I can change one thing about the music industry, wow, if I had the power to do it, I would like to make sure that all creatives are paid well for their art. And I don't use the word fairly because fairly I think is subjective, but they should be paid well for their art.